aspects that we inherited have got to be reviewed in order to make them accountable to higher authority. And this requires a real change in our system of parastatals. It might also require some change, review of departments of government, vigilance, the need for inspection and auditing. Ma audit edu anunziano ya perhaps once, external audit, is it once a year or once in 2 years in some cases? But if there is internal audit, how does it work? Why does internal audit not bring this to the service? Why does it acquiesce in a system, you see, in actions that are really contrary to and inimical really to the objectives, salutary objectives of the parastatal. So there you are, and all these institutions have got to be looked at and audited, my auditors along the way, Ngwachiti, my bookkeepers and others, accountants. And then just the management system itself, that has got to be shaken up and made tighter. And we might ask, do we still need parastatals? I think we do. But they have got to be better organized and will be on very strict terms. And the one who is in charge must carry a heavy load, a burden of accountability. And those who supervise the one who is manager must also have a similar burden of supervisory burden and be able to account finally to us. So in the presidency we are going to create the final authority, accountability. We will work it out.
Your Excellency, moving on to regional issues, you are the incoming chairman of SADC. At the same time, in 2015, you are going to be chairing the AU. This being chosen to leadership at the continental arena, is it a sign or a recognition of your leadership abilities?
I think it's only a decision that has been made in recognition of Zimbabwe as now eligible for leadership. We have led before in the same way, so normally it's the country that they look at, and of course the country and its leaders. But I think it's high time we also became a leader of the AU. We have not led the AU, we have led the OAU. But since the transformation, we have been much more of a supporting member, like everybody else, ordinary. But we are entitled to take up leadership, like every country is, provided they have the capacity to do so. And we've had that capacity. We don't see ourselves failing to do it.
Your Excellency, the AU recently took a decision that I want to refer to as one for all and all for one. That is when they decided that if you were not invited to the EU-Africa Summit, they were going to boycott. Now, such a decision, is it colleagues, friends supporting President Mugabe, or is it finally Africa standing up to bullies and speaking with one voice, something that you've always talked about?
Yes, I think it's more the latter than the former. It's a matter of principle that if it's Africa that they would want associated with, and Africa is led by the AU, and the AU comprises a set of members. It is that set of members who must represent Africa for us to say Africa was present at any particular meeting in full. Africa is not Africa without Zimbabwe or without any other country. So if you want us to be with you, Europe, then accept us as we are, and you cannot then begin to pick and change, pick and say, we can only meet you if such and such a country are not present. No, such countries are part of Africa, and therefore take it as we put it to you. Otherwise, we don't meet with you at all. It's a principled position, and we welcome that as it applies, not just to us, but to the rest of Africa.
Yes, Your Excellency. And talking of the EU, there are reports that the EU is going to scale down on illegal sanctions against Zimbabwe, but that you and a few might be left on the sanctions list. What is your reaction to that?
That's nonsense, rubbish. The question of sanctions, I don't understand what Europe wants to achieve, or the British want to achieve. They've used the sanctions for a long time, and if they think the sanctions have worked to the extent that they wanted, fine. Well, sure, they have affected our capacity to interact with the rest of the world, to be able to borrow resources from international financial institutions, trade with the free world, sure, and they restricted the movement of leaders, sure. But that nonsensical approach of we will move this and leave that doesn't have any meaning to us at all. And it's high time this stupidity, was dropped. We don't understand the sense of it anyway. And as Zimbabwe, sanctions or no sanctions, we shall continue. If the sanctions were meant to effect regime change, well, there we are. Our people continue to confirm that they have faith in us, and therefore to disgrace those who have imposed sanctions on us, and to make them feel ashamed if they have any sense of shame still left on them.
Thank you, Excellence. Allow me to take you to the first family, Tombo and Akumba. We have seen you and Amai with Bona graduating. You looked very proud. And we are also expecting Kunzanye Switsa Chene kuti Arora Akuchata, which is quite a good thing. I'm sure you and Amai must be proud of her as having led well as the firstborn.
Sure. We are very happy that she has behaved well. I feel very happy that academically she's proved to concentrate. A very, dedicated girl, and lots of things said against her, but she didn't take that to account. Along the way, of course, those who have imposed sanctions wanted to obstruct her, but we found ways and means of avoiding that. And there she was. She did her first degree in Hong Kong, and then the second degree in Singapore, and now with that master's degree, well, I think she thinks time has now come for her to get herself into yet another area where she will emerge this time with a husband, and she becomes a married woman. Fine. A father nurtures, well, can I say parents actually nurture children. They are told, they become toddlers, you're looking after them, yes, going to school, coming back, and so on and so forth, and you wonder whether they will succeed. In school, you are looking at their performance all the time. Yes, you see them perform, and when at the end of the day they will have performed and emerged with a qualification, you beat your own breast and say, yes, we have done it. Now we leave it to her or him to find their way into life, and now this is it. She will now not be with us, but with some a foreign gondo. Era mwana. All the time, mungemchita sa makonda ari kuya sa. Finally, kunozoya rimwe rinoti go. Uyo waenda. So yeah, waenda. I see. He's a happy. We hope it will be a happy marriage. Yeah, it's task. It's asking everybody. We are working day and night to try and get the environment correct. They didn't give us much time. The 1st of March is just next door. But there it is. We are very happy, and the rest is hers and her husband to be. But so far, so good. And we look forward to the boys now emulating the girl. And the boys like you go, you know, the degree of concentrating is different. She takes seriously if she says she wants to do a thing, she does it. But the boy is happy go lucky, yes. The elder one likes basketball and is very good at it, and so on and so forth. Studies, the brains, it's got brains. But my basketball matters much more than my academic. Well, we want him to switch on, you know, the academic talent which he has. But we don't discourage him from playing basketball. No. Now the other one who speaks a lot and wants to be a president one day. And we have said, he has asked, you have these degrees, Dad? Yes, I have. How did you do it? I studied. He keeps quiet. If you want to be president, you must have them also. Yeah. Fine, we do hope that he goes through O level and the A level and go to university, but that one is